The Children of Loki, a detailed exploration of the trickster's darkest legacy. Loki, the god of mischief, was more than just a trickster. He was a being of chaos, a force of both creation and destruction. Unlike most of the Aesir, who were born of divine ancestry, Loki's origins lay in the realm of Jotunheim, the land of the giants. He was the son of the Jotun Farbati, whose name means cruel striker, and Laufey, whose origins are more mysterious. Some say Laufey was a giantess, while others believe she was an Aesir of lesser standing. Regardless, Loki inherited both the cunning of the gods and the raw power of the Jotnar, making him a being unlike any other. Loki was known for his ability to shift shape, take on different forms, and manipulate reality itself. He fathered, or in some cases, mothered many children, but none were as infamous as the ones he had with Angrboda, a Jotun sorceress who lived in the Ironwood, Jörmungandr. Angrboda's name means bringer of sorrow, and true to her name, the children she bore with Loki brought terror and chaos upon the world. Together, Loki and Angrboda gave birth to Fenrir, Jörmungandr, and Hel, three beings whose fates were intertwined with the destruction of the gods. The Aesir feared them from the moment of their birth and sought to control their destinies. But in doing so, they only set in motion the events that would lead to Ragnarok, the end of the world. Fenrir, the great wolf of prophecy, birth and early life. Fenrir, the eldest of Loki's monstrous children, was no ordinary wolf. From the moment of his birth, he was unnaturally large, his fur black as the void, his eyes burning with intelligence and rage. He grew at an alarming rate, surpassing the size of even the largest creatures in Jotunheim. His howls echoed through the mountains, sending shivers through even the bravest warriors. The Aesir soon learned of Fenrir's existence, and Odin, ever wary of prophecy, sought the wisdom of the Norns, the three weavers of fate. They revealed a terrifying truth. Fenrir was destined to grow so powerful that he would one day break free and devour Odin himself at Ragnarok. The Aesir's fear and deception, fearing the wolf's potential, the gods devised a plan. Instead of killing him outright, they brought him to Asgard under the pretense of raising him among the gods. At first, Fenrir was allowed to roam freely, and only Tyr, the god of war and justice, had the courage to feed him. But the wolf continued to grow, and soon the gods could no longer ignore their fear. They decided to bind him, claiming it was a mere test of his strength. Twice they tried, forging heavy iron chains, Laedingr and Dromi, but each time Fenrir shattered them with ease. Finally, Odin sought the help of the dwarves, the greatest craftsmen in the realms. The dwarves forged Gleipnir, a chain unlike any other. It was soft as silk yet unbreakable, crafted from 6 impossible things: the sound of a cat's footsteps, the beard of a woman, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the breath of a fish, the spit of a bird. Knowing that something was amiss, Fenrir hesitated. He agreed to be bound only if one of the gods placed their hand in his mouth as a sign of good faith. Tyr, knowing what would happen, volunteered. As soon as Gleipnir tightened, Fenrir realized he had been betrayed. He struggled, but the chain held. Enraged, he bit down, severing Tyr's hand at the wrist. The gods laughed, triumphant, and Fenrir was left bound on a desolate island, his jaws wedged open by a sword, his saliva forming a river of poison beneath him. But prophecy had already been written. On the day of Ragnarok, Fenrir will break free, his hunger unchained, and he will devour Odin himself. Jörmungandr, the world's serpent, birth and banishment. Loki's second child, Jörmungandr, was unlike anything seen before. Angrboda gave birth to a serpent, but not just any serpent, one that grew so rapidly that no land could contain it. His scales were black-green, his eyes gleamed with knowledge beyond the gods, and his fangs dripped venom so potent that a single drop could poison the ocean. Odin, seeing the threat that Jörmungandr posed, acted quickly. He took the infant serpent and cast him into the great ocean that surrounds Midgard. There, the serpent continued to grow. He stretched farther and farther until he encircled the entire world, his tail locked in his own jaws. Thus, he became known as the Midgard Serpent, the great boundary between the world of men and the unknown depths. Prophecy and the rivalry with Thor, the gods feared Jörmungandr, but none more than Thor, the god of thunder. The two were destined to meet 3 times. 1. The first encounter in the story of the giant Utgard Loki. Thor unknowingly lifted Jörmungandr disguised as a cat, revealing his immense strength. The fishing contest. Thor once attempted to fish the serpent from the sea, nearly killing him with Mjolnir before a terrified giant cut the line. Ragnarok, the final battle, where Thor and Jörmungandr will face each other in mortal combat. During Ragnarok, Jörmungandr will rise from the sea, poisoning the sky with his breath. He and Thor will fight an earth-shaking battle, and though Thor will slay the serpent, he will take only 9 steps before succumbing to the venom, dying with his foe. Hel, the ruler of the dead, the birth of a goddess. Loki's 3rd child with Angrboda was neither wolf nor serpent, but a being of life and death. Hel was born with an unnatural form. Half of her body was that of a living woman, fair and strong, while the other half was cold, rotting flesh, like a corpse. Her presence was unsettling even among the Jotnar, and Odin, disgusted and fearful, cast her into the underworld. The realm of the dead. Hel was given dominion over Niflheim, the cold, misty realm of the dishonored dead, those who did not die in battle. She ruled over the souls who passed away from sickness, old age, or misfortune. Her domain was called Helheim, a vast, shadowed kingdom where the dead wandered aimlessly. Hel ruled with a cold, emotionless demeanor, neither cruel nor kind. She was the keeper of the dead, and even Odin could not command her to release a soul once it had entered her realm. During Ragnarok, Hel will release the dead to fight alongside her father Loki and the giants against the gods. Some say she will survive, remaining the queen of the underworld even after the old world is gone. Legacy of Loki's children. Each of Loki's children was a force of nature, a living prophecy of destruction. The gods sought to control them, but in doing so, they only ensured their own downfall. Fenrir, Jörmungandr, and Hel were not villains, they were fate itself. And in the end, fate cannot be stopped.